Hi and welcome to a full body workout today. We've got no props, it's just you, the mat and gravity. So let's get ready for it. We've got feet slightly separated apart, hip distance apart. Your hips are on the inside of your pelvis, not on the outside of your pelvis. So make sure those feet are nice and narrow. You're going to start with the top of the head rolling through over the tops of the legs. Let those arms really dangle out in front of you as you make your way to the floor. Remember to soften your knees if you can't get there easily with straight legs, and then roll your spine back up to the top. So when we start with a roll down, we're just nice and gentle through the body. If you haven't worked out yet today, or this is the first thing you're doing, be kind to yourself. So just testing out how your spine is feeling, how your body is feeling, and then coming back up again. As I continue with variations, if something is not good for you, just stick with the version we've done before. So from here, you're going to cross one leg over the other. And we're going to do the same roll down, 2 in a row, as we go forward over the body. And you're going to notice, oh, that feels a little bit different. Pay attention to what things you want to do to compensate. Do you want to lean too far forward? Do you put stress and tension in other parts of your body? Or can you still remember that this is a movement of your spine rolling down and rolling up? So from here, we're going to open the arms out to the side and you're going to take a seat down towards the floor. Now you may not have got there smoothly, do your best. And then can you bring yourself back up to standing high? And then we'll do that again. Take a seat, your knees are going to open out in the direction of the corners of the room, and then bringing yourself back up again. And I'm sorry if it's frustrating, but with practice and over time, you'll get there. So cross the other leg over, and we're going to repeat the same move. So from here, we're going to roll our head down. And again, how are you different on this side compared to the first side? When we stagger our feet, we cross them, we do all these sorts of things. We're challenging our balance. And again, rolling down. So when you have your favorite leg in front, how are you behaving with your balance? When you have your least favorite leg in front, how are you behaving? So the body will be either loving it or not loving it. Same move, here we go, 2 times, arms out. If you need to, and just go down halfway and stand up. But if you can go the full way, keep going, or maybe just hover off of the mat and then standing up. Do whatever you can. We'll go one more down, all the way toward the floor, and then bringing yourself all the way back up again. From here, you're going to take a little spin around, and you've twisted the other foot in front. It's like magic. And then again, you're going to twist yourself all the way around and face the opposite way. We've got one more time each direction as you lift onto your toes and spin, and then last one, lift and spin, and then make your way down into the most comfortable position for you. So you're going to start with one leg in front and one leg back behind. So we've got a bit of a hip mobility exercise for us. So if you're on a mat like mine, just shift a little further behind you. So from this position, we're going to try and do this without using hands, but if you need to, place them wherever you need to have them go. So hands can start on the shoulders. So from this position, you're going to press yourself up into standing. And then from here, we spin around, take the back leg and bring it to a lunge position. Tuck your back toes, stand up, and bring your foot next to the other one. Then you're going to take your foot behind, and you're going to lower down, and untuck your toes, swing your knee back to the front, and sit yourself down. Pretty easy, but now we're going to go the other way. So we're going to lift you up, and we're going to swing, in this case, my left leg all the way through, tuck toes, stand and tap, and then thread the leg back behind you, under your foot, and then this time you're just going to bring your knee out to the side, and as you sit down, you're going to realize, oh, my legs are in a different cross, and that's part of the series. So again, coming up, now we go off to my right side again, bring your left leg forward, back toes are tucked, lift, tap, same leg goes back, right knee down, and then swing the left leg around and take a seat towards the mat. Stand up again, and from here you're going to swing your right leg all the way through, tuck the toes, stand and tap, and then bring the left toes back down, and swing it all the way around and sit. So again, my left knee is in front. We've got one more round to go each way. So up, swing the back leg around to the front, tuck toes, stand and tap, back foot behind you, drop and swing the right knee through and under. So as we're coming this way, it's a big swing of that left leg all the way around. So a lot of hip mobility movement in this series. And then right foot back behind. Don't worry if you didn't make it to switching the legs, but by now we should have the opposite leg in front. Up we go to the right side. Again, left leg is in front. Tuck, stand, lower down, repeat. And we have one more time to go through, swing the leg around and lift. Very elegant, I know. And then coming all the way back down and releasing through there. We're gonna sit and stay in this position, and we're gonna go for a stretch forward. So hands are lengthening out in front of you. Just releasing any shoulder tension. You could drop your elbows to the ground if you want. And then almost as your arms are going forward, feel like your tail is going backward. We're going to walk your hands over towards my right knee at the moment, so the knee or the foot that's swung behind you. And that's going to open up down the side of your body, particularly from your lower rib to the top of your hip area. And then coming back through the center. See if you can use no hands as you swing your legs now around to the opposite way. And again, we're going to lengthen out long in front of us, reaching through the fingertips, sinking the hips down and back. Don't let those shoulders crowd your ears. Sink them away from the ears. Let them be where they need to be, but not tensed up. And then we walk our hands over to the knee that's foot facing backward, so you can stretch out the side of your body line. And then another breath there, and then walking through the center. From here, we're just going to take a lie down onto our back, so swing yourself into a comfortable position. So you can have your feet resting onto the floor. Make sure nothing is behind the back of your head, and let your palms just face up towards the ceiling. So broad open through the shoulders. A bridge is the name of the game as we roll the pelvis away from the mat and lift your hips into the air. And then lowering yourself all the way back down again. So just setting out like we did in the beginning of our movement, how is your spine moving for you? Is it free? Is it mobile? Is it liquid? Fluid? All of these different words have impact on us, so make sure you use good, kind language to yourself. On the next one, we're going to stay lifted, and the point is to keep the hips off of the floor. From here, you're just going to push up onto the balls of your feet, so your heels are raised, and then you're going to roll back towards your heels and lift your toes. And again, we're going to go forward, up onto the balls, and then backward onto the heels. One more time as we go up onto the toes, and you're going to stay on the toes. And from here, can you float one knee up toward you? It's a very different feeling from when we're on our heel, and then lower the leg down. Keep up on the ball of the foot, good weight-bearing exercise for your toes, lifting other knee and lowering it down. One more time each side as we raise a knee and lower a knee and raise a knee and lower a knee. And then from there, you're going to roll your body all the way down and then rest your heels onto the mat. Pick your toes up so you're balanced on the heels now, and then roll your spine to the top. We're going to start with the other leg as we raise a knee toward you and then lowering it down. So by changing legs, by changing foot position, you're going to notice that there's different muscles activating. Even though the movement seems to be the same, just by weight bearing in different places, you'll notice more thighs, more calves, and then lowering your body all the way down and rest your feet onto the mat. This next one is what we call a shoulder bridge. It's going to be a little bit deeper into your stretch. So again, be mindful, choose what works for you the best. Pull the feet in a little closer. We're going to roll through the hips and keep rolling up until you're into a back bend and an arch of your upper back. Tuck your elbow wings in underneath you, clasp your hands together and stretch them down towards your feet. Keep the feeling like your pelvis is lifting like a hot air balloon into the air. Raise a knee into the air and then lengthen your leg up towards the ceiling. Flex your foot as you lower it down and point your toes to come up. And again, flex foot down, point toes up. One more time, flex and point. Bend your knee, place your foot onto the floor, readjust yourself if you need to, and then bring the other leg up. Stretch the leg long, flex your foot down, point the toe up, and long leg down and up. Don't go so low that you lose the height of your hips. And then fold your knee, place your foot onto the floor, keep the hips up as you separate the hands, widen the shoulders, roll the spine all the way down to the mat. Bring your knees towards you, give yourself a little squeeze of your low back. Keep a hold of your hands at the front of the shins, and then nod your head forward looking towards your legs. From here, we're going to do a classic move called the single leg stretch. Hold both hands onto the front of the shin and slide your opposite leg away from you, and then just a nice brisk change over. So we'll work on the out breath as you push your leg away from you, keeping your lower back imprinted onto the floor and feeling the legs lengthening out through the sockets but not releasing from the sockets. And another 2, 1, and pull both knees in and rest your head and shoulders down. If that was enough, you stay with that. If you need neck support, just put one hand behind the back of your head and then curl yourself forward again. The legs are going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to move your hands to the back of your head, straighten a leg away from you and rotate towards the other knee. Crisscross is the name, and twist. So with this one, it's not a bicycle motion, it's a push and a pull and a push and a pull of your feet, with a lift and a slight side rotation over towards the opposite direction. And we'll go for another 3, 2, 1, back to the center, and down we come towards the floor. Both hands onto your knees. Again, roll your legs away from each other, making circles in each hip socket. And we'll go for 5 circles around, trying not to overly wobble through your pelvis and rock and roll through the lower body. So feeling that better connection of your sacrum. Let's change direction, the back of the spine onto the mat, so that you are steady with your pot as you're stirring your legs around. And then one more time, lengthening out long. From here, let's clasp the back of the thighs, elbows still wide, nod your head forward, rolling to look up, and then lowering your feet down to touch the floor, and then build your spine all the way up tall. And then from there, we roll the body back and away from your legs, pull the thighs in towards you gently, mildly, as you return your body to level. And again, the head leads the way up, and then the feet lower down, bringing the upper body with it, and lifting eye gaze long, and then roll away, softening into your back, drawing the knees in towards you. One more time as we roll our body all the way up towards the top. And up we come. Let's take those arms away, spin around, no hands if you can, as we come up into our final balance. I need to just change my hair while we're here. And then when you're ready to, in the center of your mat, arms are out to the side. So from here, we're going to do a side balance. We're going to send one arm down toward the floor. And as you do, you're going to lift the opposite knee away from the mat. Balance to let your hand rest. Bring your thigh so it's at the height of your hip. Make sure your bottom isn't pushed back behind you, but that you're lengthening through the front of this open hip. And then from here, we're going to thread your top arm through, rotating toward the back, and then bring your arm up, and we're going to rebalance ourselves. So taking your time nice and slow, controlled. And then we're going to go the other way. So tip down towards the side, balance onto your hand, knee in line with hip. Maintain it there as you twist yourself through into a rotation, and then back to face the side, and then again coming up, easing your way. It's got a lot of control through this movement, and again down. You could collapse if you wanted to, but it's so much nicer when you do it with good form. And then rotate through, looking back, behind, up, and returning. Lots of benefits to this exercise. 1, we're doing weight bearing through a single arm. 2, we've got good glute strength of the leg that's in the air and the leg that's on the floor. And we're adding rotation, multifaceted movement, and up we come. 1 more to go each side. As you go over, you'll start to feel a lot more confident now that you know what you're doing. So don't let that confidence overrule the precision of your movement. So working through your obliques, your side muscles, your side bending muscles, and again twist and back to the start, and coming all the way up. So we're going to spin down onto your tummy to finish. As we lie you down, lengthening long, we'll place your hands at a right angle shape at the front of your mat. And we're going to begin by just lifting the top of the head and ribs away from the mat. So I've got my lower ribs touching, my upper ribs are away from the ground, and then lowering back to the mat surface. And then repeating that, peeling yourself up gently, looking forward, not out in front of you to collapse the back of the neck, but just maybe in front of your nose, and then back to this ground surface. So please choose to stay there if that's comfortable for you and safe for your spine. Otherwise, let's go all the way up, pressing through the arms, engaging through the backs of the legs as we lift up into a full extension, and then slow the movement down as you return to the mat. And then again, the movement is about your spine. Your arms assist to get you up higher. Your glutes fire on to support your back. Your curve is nice and balanced, whether you're coming up or going down. So there's an easy feeling through this whole series. You don't want to feel your shoulders pulling up to your ears. There's good spacing. If you had to measure it from your earlobe to your shoulder, they stay pretty much the same distance apart. One more time as we bring our body all the way up towards the top, getting a good, gentle, supportive squeeze to your lower back, and then coming all the way back down again. All right, from here, press yourself all the way up, take a spin around, make your vest move, and I'll see you next time.